Welcome to the show. Well, we have to up our technical game when it comes to security around the house. Please welcome Ramson Kachi. Hey, Ramson.
How are you, Marilyn?
I'm good. I'm good. So, I thought I had enough security. You're going to tell me I'm going to need some more?
Well, you know what? You can never have enough security. And we're all stuck in our homes lately. We spend a lot of time in our homes. And the
Yeah.
sad part is the bad people aren't staying in their homes. They're out and about looking. And that's when you got to kind of protect yourself a little bit, right?
Yeah. Well, it's so interesting because we get kind of a rundown, and we did in my other neighborhood too, about break-ins. And everybody thinks of break-ins maybe at night. They're right in the middle of the afternoon, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, sliding doors,
Yeah.
windows, what
Yeah.
do I say? Roof, what are those roof things? What God, can't think of the name of it.
Skylights?
Uh, Thank you. Yeah. So, I
Okay.
mean, you have to thank you. You win a new tile. So you're going to show us some upgrades on some of the security. Like, I'm very curious to hear about the sliding pin.
Well, you know what? There's some access points that are easy access points for people, and you have to pay attention to those. Nothing replaces common sense. So you have to be sensible, obviously locking your doors, making sure that you have adequate light outside so that your property's lit up. But then sliding doors, when you have those sliders in the back, those are an easy access
Yeah.
point for people because often the older ones, you can jiggle them up and down, and then the lock unlocks and you
Yeah.
can slide it open. So there's nothing protecting you. So a simple $5 or $10 fix, somewhere in that range, are these first items I'm going to show. And this is a pin. And this pin basically goes through the two doors and locks them together. So once it slides through one and locks into the other one and then
Wow.
holds them together so you can't slide them apart, right? So these are really simple fixes, and all you need is a drill to install that. And that's an easy fix. So there's a few other methods, one of which is this one here, and we've got an image of it that we can bring
Yeah.
up that shows you how it's used. And again, you mount this to the one slider, and as you push this
Yeah.
down, the pin goes into the second slider so they don't slide apart. And it's got a key on it as well, so you can't just anybody can't
Mm,
open it, right? One of the other
okay.
things that I
Right.
want to point out is windows, sliding windows. You know the old sliding windows in apartments, they've got an aluminum frame. Some
Sure.
houses
Yeah.
have those windows. So whether it's securing people from coming in from the outside, there's also the idea of making sure these windows don't open so kids can't climb up to these windows and possibly fall out. So a simple item like
Right.
this, and let's assume this is the track of the window. This fits onto the track, and once it fits on, you can just push it tight, and that's it. It'll prevent the window from sliding any further. So these are little
Oh,
simple
that's
fixes
great.
that you can put on, right, to protect yourself. One of the
Yeah.
ones we put on a
Right.
lot is this one here. This one goes on the door, on the jamb of the door. So when you have your door
Hmm.
set in place, this one gets screwed into there. And when you want to open your door, you pull it out of the way and the door swings open. But when the door is closed, you can put it in place and it locks and it holds the door in place. So this one's a great one. And you can put it a little bit lower, a little bit higher if you want. If you don't want kids to be able to get out, you always have to think to yourself, how do I deal with emergency situations when I have these locks? So you don't want to create a situation where
Hmm.
someone is actually locked in and can't get out. So always keep that in mind. And then lastly, with regards to
Right.
the doors and safety, is this night lock here, because people think their doors are secure and they're not. And when you have a side light, so you have a piece of glass at the side, you have your door, that little piece of wood in between is all that is protecting that door and holding it shut. Well, I'll tell you, I put my shoulder into one of those or I put my leg into it, that wood will blow out and open right up. So there's really no protection. But something like this, that mounts onto the floor inside your house. So if this is your door, this mounts onto the floor and you can slide this in at night. So when you want to go to bed, you slide this into
Oh,
place
that's
and there's your
great.
door. And if someone
Yeah.
wants to push the door, they can't, right? So it
That's
protects you in that
great.
way. And then when you want to get out, you just slide it
Yeah.
out and then the door swings over that
Yeah.
thing. So this is a great product to have, especially when you have doors that are easy to break into, right?
Hey,
And
let's
then
go back.
I want
Let's
people,
go back. Wait, wait,
yeah,
wait. Let's go back like
yeah,
13,
I'm
14
listening.
years ago. Do you remember the time that I lived like in a condo downtown and I was out to go to work and somebody broke into the condo main all on the fifth floor of the condo. And that's because the guy pushed it in. and there was nothing
Yep.
but the door frame left. Like it was, so that's so great,
Right.
especially if you live in a condo. That's an excellent thing to do. And you sleep better,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. So if you're going to sleep and you don't have peace of mind and you know that front door can be broken
Yeah.
into, and I'll tell you, when someone breaks
Yes.
in, what are you going to do? So it's better to prevent them from breaking in, right?
Right
So
on. Right
moving
on.
on, I want
Okay.
to talk about some deterrents and some things that makes it more difficult, make it more difficult for people to break in. Something like an automatic lock. So the August lock, for instance, is a Wi-Fi enabled lock. It mounts onto your existing lock system and it gives you Wi-Fi, possibilities and also digital code. So on the outside, you walk up, you punch a code, you get in, and from your bed, you can check if your front door is locked. So it gives you peace of mind. And then getting into things like cameras. Cameras are so important today because most thieves know that when you have a camera, it's not recorded locally, it's often recorded to the cloud. So as soon as their face is in front of that, you have an image of their face and they can't get it and they can't delete it. So it gives a great deterrent. So something as simple as this Google Nest camera, which this is an indoor camera, but I encourage people to put one of these, for instance, in your front door window. On the inside of the window, you can just put it on the ledge, you can direct it to the front door, you can direct it any which way you want, and plug it in, and it connects via Wi-Fi, and it records everything that's happening because it's got a motion sensor, and it starts recording when it detects motion. So these are a great deterrent as well, and I would make these very visible so people can see that you have cameras, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
A
Yeah. Good
doorbell that
idea.
has an integrated camera
Hmm.
is another excellent item. So, doorbells, video doorbells, we all know they're great. I especially like the Eufy. This is a fairly new in the last couple of years unit. And the Eufy is great because you don't need a subscription to operate this. It actually records the footage locally. So you don't need to record to the cloud and pay for that on a monthly basis. This gives you access on your smartphone, gives you notification. It's got facial recognition, so it can detect humans versus animals, and it can send you, notifications as to somebody being at your door, and gives you two-way communication. So these are excellent to have, and they're a great deterrent as well, because when people see those there, they know their face is right on camera, and they'll just go next house,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Lastly, with
Oh,
regards to
great.
this technology, alarm systems can be complicated. It can be expensive for people, but they've gotten a lot more affordable. So a system like the Ring alarm system is an alarm system that you can install yourself, right down to the contacts. These are the door window contacts, and you can put them on with double-sided tape. And once the window is opened or the door is opened, it triggers the alarm. The alarm panel itself is easy to install, it's easy to program, it's got motion sensors that you can put throughout your house, and it's got a siren that you can install. So now all of a sudden you have this alarm system that you can install yourself, and you can monitor it through your cell phone. So it sends notifications to your cell phone. And if you want to have it
Mm-hmm.
monitored, they have a service that they can professionally monitor the system for as little as $10, $15 a month, which is quite affordable. So you have all these
Mm-hmm.
options, and these all become deterrents. And these are fantastic to integrate into your home in small bits and pieces. And none of these are very individually very expensive. And then we move on to the
Okay.
next level, which I think this is something that most people don't think about. Windows are great and easy access to any house. So you walk up, you're looking around, you grab a brick, you toss it through the window, nobody shows up, you climb in and you go in. And that's what they do often. So how do you prevent that? Well, you can put cages and bars on windows, which is unappealing, and who wants to live like that? A great product is, I've showed you 3M films. You're familiar with 3M films. One of the ones we showed before was the
Mm-hmm.
thermal one, where it cuts out a lot of the heat that comes through the window. So they have solar films that you put on windows that protect your furniture and things on the inside. So that's one aspect of window films, which is excellent. Number two, it cuts out a lot of the UV light. So they have window films that cut out 99.9% of the UV light, which prevents all your furniture from fading. So you get that discoloration. So it protects that. And it reduces a lot of the glare. But more importantly, they've got these films that are security films. So these films, you can't even see them once they're installed on the glass. And I've got this panel of glass here, and you can see that's just a regular window as far as we're concerned. And I'm going to have some fun here. Are you watching now?
I'm watching. I'm watching.
Here we go.
Oh,
So I want you to see
this
the
is
importance of
serious.
having a security film, right? So yes,
Okay.
this is serious. I'm going to make a mess, but it's not going to be that bad because if you have a window on the main floor and that's an access point, it's very important to think like this because if you cover it with window film and someone comes along and tosses a brick because they want to test your house and see if you have an alarm or if anybody's home or if they can get in, they'll walk in, whether with a baseball bat or whether with a brick, and they'll try to get in and they can't. So you can see I had to hit that 3, 4 times to break it. And then when it finally broke, they can't even get through because they can try all they want and they can't get through. So once they try 2, 3 times, off to the next house. And your only liability is a piece of glass. Your house didn't get invaded, things didn't get stolen. And these are important things to think about today. We have to protect what we have.
Hmm.
We have to protect
Yeah.
ourselves in our home. We have to have peace of mind. And all of these are great little things to add to that peace of mind. So I love the 3M products. I think the films are
Yeah.
one of the things that people don't even think about. And you should, especially if you
Right.
have main floor or basement windows.
Right. Basement windows, people get really concerned about that. So in most cases, these are, we can all do it ourselves. We can, they, a lot of kits and they show us how to put them up and put them in properly, correct?
All of these you can do yourself. All of them require
Good.
minimal tools. They're very easy to do. They're all DIY. All these locks here are from Home Depot. You can pick them up. You can go to any home design center,
Right.
go to the area where they have locks and sliding doors, and they have those there. They have all these cameras. They have the Eufy doorbell system, the video doorbell, the Ring. The window film is something that you would probably have an installer put it in because you don't want to experiment. You don't want to put the window film up and say, oh, I goofed up. That one's garbage. I got to try
Yeah.
again. So 3M
Right. Right.
has distributors and installers, and you call a local distributor or installer and you find out, get a cost for it. They would cost it, come and install it, and you're all set. And once it's in, you don't even know it's on. So you just go on with your daily
Okay.
life.
That's great. And we love our daily lives as long as we stay safe.
Yes, we
Thank
do.
you so much, Ramson. Yes, we do.
No problem. Good
Appreciate
seeing
all
you.
that information. Good to see you too.
Thank
We have
you.
to take a break. We'll be right back.